Hi guys, it's Indigo from Shoodroo, and today I'll be teaching you how to make a scrunchie just like this one. This is actually a black velvet one that I made earlier, and they are just so cute. It's actually so weird because a few years ago I actually thought scrunchies were really ugly, but now as they've gone into style and stuff, I have one for like every one of my outfits, so they're just really cute. But they can be really expensive. Like some in Claire's £4.50. No, just like good deals. Well, then this is a lot more cheaper because you can use it from just old clothes that you had, or you could buy an actual sheet of fabric if you're going to make tons of them. So I think it's a really cute hack, perfect for gifts. You can give it to your mother for like Mother's Day, or like your nana, or anybody that you know that has long hair and likes them. So they're very useful. So let me just stop talking and let's get on with the video. So I just have this big black piece of material which I'll be using to cut my scrunchie out of. As you can see, it's really just a big scrap. It's been cut out before and I just really like the material. So the first step is to measure about 40 centimeters to like 41 to 42. It really just depends on how big you want your scrunchie. I like to keep it at like a 41, and I just have my ruler to do it here. So now I will do the next part. So I am just measuring 41 centimeters and cutting that. Then you would want to do it 10 centimeters across as well. It can be like 9 centimeters, 11 centimeters, 12 centimeters. Really just depends on what you like. Sometimes you just have to experiment a bit. So I'm going to cut that out. So I just cut my 41 centimeter by 11 scrunchie sheet of fabric, and as you can see, it's not the most exact cutting, but that's the best thing about sewing. You can cover up those sort of things, and when the scrunchie is finished, it won't look any different to how it would have been if it was cut precisely. To cut it, I used these orange material scissors. They're very useful. It's just you have to remember not to cut plastic with them and stuff, or paper. Now the second part is you have to get a hair tie. I like to get hair ties that I wouldn't wear out and about, just to like not waste. So I don't know why I got two. I'm just not thinking correct today, so I'll just put that away. So you have to get a hair tie, some pins, and your piece of fabric. So I have my hair tie, my pins to pin it with, and my sheet of fabric. So what I'm doing is I am getting the velvety side of the material, or whatever piece of material you want to be showing on the scrunchie, and I'm just putting one of the corners through the hair tie to the other corner, so that they're sort of like, when you're folding something, you put the two corners together. I'm basically doing that, and with that corner, I'm just going to use a pin to pin it there to keep it in place while I will be sewing it. Now, since I've got my piece of fabric already in, I'm just going to line the two ends together, and I'm just going to continue pinning that together so that it's easier to sew and we can be more exact and know what we want it to be like. I am just putting the hair tie down a bit, and I am just continuing to pin the two pieces of the fabric together. It's just, it was a bit boring, so I just speeded it up. And we have almost finished pinning the whole thing, which means we are about to start sewing it. And we are done here. I've pinned them all, so we've finished pinning. Here we go, just a close-up of it, of all the pinning of the edges together. And and it already looks a bit like a scrunchie and stuff. So as you can see, I'm about to sew it with my sewing machine. Obviously you can sew it by hand, it just takes a bit longer, and I just like sewing with a sewing machine. I've got my pins here to take the pins out when I'm sewing, because sewing over pins on fabric when you're sewing is really bad for your sewing machine. So I like to do that, and I'm just about to start. I don't know what it's actually called, but I call it like the little foot. So I just put the foot down and I am about to start sewing it. So I've sewed the first part of it and it's looking good so far. Just wanted to show you that. As you can see, I am sewing the rest of it. It sounds a bit weird because it's sped up, but like, I can promise you that my sewing machine is completely fine. So I've just finished sewing my scrunchie, but it's inside out, so it's not velvety. So I'm going to turn it inside out. So as you can see, it's not sewed together and it's not velvety, so you have to turn it inside out. There is actually a tool you can use to turn it inside out, but I'm just using my hands because it's quicker and I don't have that tool. So I am just getting my fingers under it and turning it the right way around, the way that I want the fabric to be shown. To turn it inside out, and I've finished turning it inside out. I just need to sew that little bit together. There we go. So I'm just making sure that the fabric isn't all rolled up at the ends, and what I'm doing is, because I don't like any ends showing, I'm turning one of them and putting the fabric inside itself and then putting the other piece of fabric in that hole. I'm not too sure how to describe it. I just hope the video shows you, and if you have any questions, please feel more than welcome to comment them. So yeah, I'm just putting one side of the material into the other one, and I'm about to sew that. Again, you can sew it by hand. I just like using my sewing machine, and it can be a bit hard because it's obviously layered material, so your sewing machine may find it a bit hard to sew, but it's absolutely fine. And I've just finished sewing that. The only problem with this is that you can kind of see where it's been sewn, but luckily I was using like a black one and black thread, and since it's a pretty big scrunchie and it has some creases in it, it just looks like one of the creases, so that's fine. And I have finished making my black velvet scrunchie. I'm just going to leave that there, and here it is on my wrist. It looks so cute. It's visco, and I'm just tying it in my hair, and it's just really nice. It holds up my hair. I hope you enjoyed watching my video on how to make your very own scrunchies, DIY and everything. You can follow us on Instagram, which will be down below in the description. If you want us to do any more videos, please comment down below, give us a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button and the notifications button. It would really help us a lot. Thanks guys, bye!